today for our Chain Reaction Dialogue meeting, and we are here to speak about the gathering that was happening in Serbia. And since this is a really online dialogue, we are traveling and we are in a train station because this is the added value of Chain Reaction Dialogue. So today with us, we have Diana Krecic and Tatiana Nivukovic from Assitej Srbija, and we let them the floor to tell us how was the gathering and how was connected with their dreams and expectation to tell us more, because this meeting will be recorded and it's to the resource that we will share with Italians and all the people of the Chain Reaction community. Thank you. I hope you heard, but I believe it's not so relevant what I said. We want to listen, Diana and Tatiana.
Thank you so much. It's actually the very first kind of report that we are going to give, or expose. What was it and how was it? And we are very aware that this is really something that we will try to explore more in next months to come, much more than we can say now for the fresh moment, although that it's already 3 weeks behind us. But it was obviously such a big task for all of us, because we are a very small team. We are not very much in the office. The people are not too many. So all the task was actually on the board. We have been in the board, the ones who have been dragging the things. So if we have this in mind, that it was a really small, big core of the group for the last 3 years, then we can say, you know, we had made quite a lot of things, and it happened, and we can be satisfied. But also, it is obviously that this is quite different meeting that we used to have before, because if let me remind you just for a moment that these Assitej gatherings have started in 2011. And it was when the actual Assitej executive members started to think about how it would be to in between two congresses make something that is really gathering, and it is really about the questions of the community from the artistic point of view, not only as assemblies are usually the politics of the whole association. So in that moment, when we started to think about this kind of the gathering, we knew that we will not like to have such a broad and big as it usually have been through the years, because of many circumstances that we are in, especially the very last years, that the cuttings everywhere and the COVID and all those kinds. Tanya, can you add anything to this in introduction, kind of? Would you please?
Well, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So our idea was from the beginning to kind of put the spotlight in this region, in this part of the world. We wanted to have, we say, for example, Southeastern Europe, or this region that also Italy is part of, more to the map of the performing arts for young audiences. This was one of the very important goals. For us, it was also very important to include in different ways and to develop different strategies to include younger generations, not only of audiences, but also of professionals. So you will hear about several different programs or strategies that we developed or tested or tried to implement in order to really have different generations of professionals supported to join, or gave space, give resources, and so on. And maybe the third goal was also to somehow give a new push to the intersectoral cooperation, not just the sector of arts, but with the sector of education, with the sector of youth policy that is strong in Serbia. So we try to establish some new connections between different sectors and different pillars that are relevant for the life of young people in Serbia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yes, from the very start, you know, we could say that in the last 3 years or 4 years, when we started from the very scratch, from the beginning, it was 2019 when we decided that in the end of the year, it was Sen Festival over there gathering as well in the Norway. So then we have decided after that experience of being there, you know, and seeing how some of the people are reactions on the idea. So we saw that it would be all right that we start again after so many years to, as Tanya said, to make a spot on this area, because when we are talking about the region, it's not really like most of the people are thinking on Western Balkans or Southeast Europe, but we actually included in what we have seen out of every kind of maps of the political maps. We have seen about 17 countries. And it was very interesting to find out whether they would be and how they would be included. So I may say that I'm very happy, and because of some of the smaller centers have been very active really during the whole year in preparation time. As also one of the point was really to give the floor to the younger generation, the ones that are already there, that are already we have seen in region that exists. Actually, we have also gathered them in one of the next generation programs in 2018. The point is, if we are talking a lot about the new generation, we really have to include them from the very beginning of the creation of this. And we have managed that. And I'm very, very, very proud and happy that this happened, really. This is one of the most beautiful ways that we can improve that the generation that we have nourished somehow. Oh, I think we have opened a lot of programs in the way to bring the younger generation interested in the theater for young audiences. And this was actually, we could see them really working very hard and making a very good, yeah.
Maybe just to jump in for a second, for example, after 5 years, we organized the Next Generation residency, and these are the photos that you are seeing now at the moment. And one of the most interesting topics for our colleagues within this Next Generation residency was, again, sustainability. So there were many connections between different topics and different fields of interest, and the whole Next Generation residency was actually focused on the idea of sustainability in the performing arts. These are the photos that you are seeing in the moment. And then we were also, of course, trying to think about the role of the playwright for young audiences in the contemporary societies. And actually the prologue of the whole ASSITEJ Artistic Gathering 2023 was exactly the public reading of a play that is focusing on the overwhelmingly aggression in the societies, in the contemporary societies, the patriarchal violence, and the overall militarization of the society. So those are the photos that you are seeing in the moment. Yeah.
Oh, that was from the reading as well. Some kids have been inside of it, reading and playing, and that is really, it was really just the beginning. What I wanted to say is actually that the response from and this Next Generation residency was actually something that we had made prior to the main program. So this all group could join us during the real program from 20th onwards. That was actually about this young generation have been actually 13 or 14 days together, all together, which is really quite a period. And I'm pretty sure, and what we can heard from them, the reactions, that they are, again, a new generation group that they will for sure see each other, and some outcomes will come further on. We would see that for sure.
If I can jump in again, to give some maybe information about how the program was structured also, and some facts. So for those who are not that much informed about how the gathering went, it was actually we say 4 days of main programming, but with the prologue and after programming, it was actually 7 days of different kind of programming. And it also encompassed a festival with 18 performances. So some of the performances came from Serbia, so it was a national selection. Some of the performances came from the region as a regional selection. And then there was also one wider international performance, a guest performance from New Zealand. So in total, that was a big festival, we could say, of 18 performances, but that was only one part of the programming. We had many presentations, lectures, discussion, workshops, roundtables, and different formats that were really packing these 7 days. And also we can be very satisfied to say that more than 300 colleagues, delegates from 43 countries actually took part in the different programs during these 7 days. For us, it was on one side a challenge, but on the other side, an opportunity to present also the cultural scene of 2 cities, not just one. So we had some programming in the capital of Serbia, in Belgrade, and then other part of the programming we organized in the city of Novi Sad, which is a city that was selected for a European Youth Capital 2019, and then European Capital of Culture 2021. So there was also an infrastructure and a prepared field for this kind of event in Novi Sad. And then in these 2 cities, it was 14 different venues that actually took part in programming in different ways.
Yeah, I would just to add that the very first day, the official day, was actually done in Belgrade in the Faculty of Dramatic Arts. And it was a conference dealing with the question of the rights of the children. It was on the 20th of November. And when I find out these days, I've been counting the number of the people who have been, this is right, like a keynote speaker, Irena Ristic, a professor from the Faculty of Dramatic Arts. It was about, I think it was 41 person on the stage, addressing to the audience, which is not, it was really packed, jam-packed, the program in the very first day. But the intention was really like to give the introduction about the whole lot, how does it looks like that from the question of the children's rights. And then the people idea was can recognize the speakers later on and address them during the days. And I have to say that was what I've heard from some our colleagues, that they had really, they have been inspired and had a lot of small meetings like biennial or on the edges of the program, which is really fantastic. And that is what is actually this kind of the gatherings should serve as well, to have many reconstruction of the and finding a new friends, and that is the way how it would be one of the goals of this kind of Assitej gathering. This is, for example, something that it was not open. It was one meeting which was very interesting and for us, because in the region we have raised the question about where the TIA in the curriculum of academias are. So we had 12 representatives from the different from the different academies, the high school of art for the theater and performing arts. They have come from the region that is speaking the same languages like Croatia, Montenegro, Serbia, Macedonia. And we have started to build a little bit further that question as well, because we find that in our education system there is not enough recognized theater for young audiences in the programs. So we also opened the question of that, and we hope to later on to work on it in the next years.
Yeah, so some of the topics that we also tried to give an additional push, so to say, were in the field of contemporary dance. We had several programs that were focusing on the performing contemporary dance for young audiences from the age of earliest age of babies, also contemporary dance programming for neurodivergent children and children with special needs, also in cooperation with the Young Dance Network and so on. Also, some of the programs were focused on scene design and new technologies in TYA. A whole special conference was organized in collaboration with the Department for Scene Design at the Faculty of Technical Sciences in the city of Novi Sad, and so on. So we did try to map which topics are maybe most important in Serbian and regional performing arts for young audiences scene, but also which topics maybe local scene at the moment can give biggest contribution to. So we really did on mapping different talents, different experts that are local and so on, and try to decolonize knowledge on these topics a bit. Try not always to bring experts from always the same countries to teach the others, but also to mix it a little bit. So for us, it was really important to have different kinds of knowledges included. And as Diana already said, we organized this event really in partnership with many platforms, many organizations, many networks, and we tried to organize also different kind of meetings within the Assitej Artistic Gathering. And it was really helpful that more than 300 colleagues, through one way or another, actually managed to come.
Yeah. Also, you could see that there are the Forestine and Babel project that are Assitej international projects have been presented. And as about the colleagues from the different sides of the world and equality of the possibility to be seen, not always in the same experts from the same countries, you know, always the same. That was one of really what intention was. And I think it was really good. Unfortunately, we have expected much more people from the long distance, I would say, but it's really, I think our community everywhere is facing these problems with the visas from some countries and also with the long flights, which are very expensive. So these two categories of the, how would I say, barriers for, I think all of us will deal with it for many years to come. Unfortunately, in that scope, if we think about that, then I think that we should think to be more brave and work on the smaller size of these big events, although that this is something I think we should think about it, to have much more spots like that. And I would support every idea of every of our colleagues around the world to, whenever somebody dare to go to organize such a big event, I think deserve support from all of us. You know.
Speaking of support, just a small addition. For us, it was also important to collect different kind of support or inputs from different institutions that did not before really pay attention to the performing arts for young audiences. Yes. So our negotiation with Ministry of Culture, for example, and I know we are running out of time, so we will be wrapping up. Our negotiations with the Ministry of Culture lasted full 4 years. So really from 2019, before our first nomination, the communication started. So eventually we think, managed to get additional attention to the performing arts for children and young people from the Ministry of Culture, but also from the Ministry of Youth. We also had, for I think 2 full years, negotiations with different ministers, because in Serbia, the government is changing very often. We also had elections yesterday, and we are all a bit exhausted from the impact of these most recent elections. So governments are very often changing, and it is really the hard advocacy work with ever-changing politicians. But we did manage to bring also the Ministry of Youth on board, the cultural officers from both cities. We managed to establish collaboration with the National Association of Youth Workers for the first time. We managed to establish some kind of connection with the Regional Youth Cooperation Office, not material cooperation, but some kind of awareness about who is doing what. We had a participant at the conference coming from the ombudsman in charge for children's rights. So we really try to push higher on the agenda the idea of children's rights to culture and arts and free time and play, not only the basic human rights, so to say. And of course, we also try to be as visible in the media as possible, but that is always hard with these topics that are not as brutal and as spectacular as some others unfortunately are.
Yeah, thank you for that, because I think it is very important that we have established a connection with some other sectors. Until now, I think last 10 years, it was about more than 10 years that we are all speaking about that intersectoral work it is necessary in this part. But then the whole contribution was in that kind of very small chapters or something, you know. Now this is we think, we hope that this big event have served in that cause very much, you know, to be really connected. And I've seen these, yeah, I think we are on a way, and there is a lot to do to use this opportunity to continue with all these sectors. Well, I think this is it. Yeah.
Thank you, Diana and Tatiana, because it is really important that what you were speaking about, because in this context, we are in a process of trying to understand for our colleagues which is the impact of the international relation on our job and in our profession. I can say that no matter what were the content that were, of course, interesting, and you were trying to explain how deep and this diversity of the point of view and new voices to make space for, and that was the opportunity of this gathering. For you, from what you said, the international dimension of the gathering was for you very important to advocate for the sector, for the association, and for culture in general, and to set in trans-sectorial cooperation and collaboration.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe we didn't emphasize it enough because it's so, like, we take it for granted, but absolutely this power of more than 300 colleagues coming to find out about the local scene, to make some new connections, to pay attention to what we are doing good in the local scene, to maybe find out about some additional cooperation opportunities, some new resources that we can share, some new knowledge. Absolutely, we take it for granted. Maybe we didn't emphasize it enough in this presentation.
No, I mean, it was there, but since we are also in a dimension of not our language, and also it's not that easy if you don't experience it. Or maybe you experience it for the first time. Maybe you go to a gathering or to a festival and you just feel and experience the event that can maybe a conference or a show, and you are not aware of the importance of being there. So this is important, because I will give the floor to our colleagues from Italy that were not by chance young. For some of them, it was the first time coming to a gathering or going international. So the question I will launch on the floor, and I don't know who wants to go first, but feel free, are in the chat. And it's, we asked them to tell us about the strangest thing that I have seen, the most inspiring thing. Why do you think that is important to go to the gathering? And a constructive critic you will address to organization. Is a kind of structure. We said that we have 4 minutes for each, so I believe that you can listen to that, and maybe if we have time you can make a kind of closing word or reacting to this. So I will shut up and let the floor to the one that wants to start. And also, no, there is one thing I need to add, that also we asked our Italian colleagues to invite here some people or the people that they met and they wanted to meet again. So here in this category of the guests that are invited from the people who were frequenting the gathering, we have, I believe, Rana Gaderi. Is it true? Am I correct? Yeah. And also, I want to acknowledge that we have other colleagues that are from a different festival, that is the festival network of Chain Reaction. So we have Maria Giulia Campioli from Trallallero Festival, Elisa Semprini and Bruno Frabetti from La Baracca Visioni Festival. And we have also, where are you, Lorenzo Palmieri from I Teatri del Mondo, and our president from ASSITEJ ITALIA, Linda Eroli, and also the young visitors of the gathering. So who wants to go? Thank you. And other people from Italy listening, of course, our discussion and presentation that will be heard also on the recording online available on the website.
I can go first. I've prepared my presentation in Italian, but okay.
I will, don't worry, I will.
But I will switch in English, but in this case, I would be like this. Not
so I forgot to say this. That is, sorry.
Ah, okay. But subtitles.
Sorry. If you want, you have you're free to do it in Italian. I will, for Tatiana and Diana, try to translate in the chat, and we habilitate subtitles in English also to help if the chat from Cristina Cazzola is not enough. Thank you. Ciao.
Okay, but I will try in English. It's okay. Allora, the strangest things that I've seen in the gathering, it was a very incredible show.
Sara, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I have this 4 minutes, so I start rightly. I'm Sara from Italy. I went for the first time at the gathering, so it was the first time for me in a gathering. I'm from Mantova, and I'm an actress from a theater company which is called Collettivo Landesi. Okay, I will start. The strangest things that I've seen in the gathering was an incredible show for me called Bambi, because it was like a vision to me. I didn't expect that a cartoon might be a theater performance with this strange, fantastic. Then the taxi drivers that about Italy knows Valentino Rossi and the Ferrari, and then the fish soup that that me and Linda had in this very strange place beside the fabric in Novi Sad. The most inspiring things is there are three things. The fact that the gathering was in Serbia, because for me Serbia was a very important meeting with the Serbian vibes, and then how the performance Yes talked about the theme of consent among boys and girls. And the fact that I've had for one night, I was a DJ and I make dance people from the International Theatre on the Note of Ostrica e Champagne, which is a very trashy song, Italian trashy song. Then why it is important to me to be in the gathering? Because you exit from your artistic circle and you meet others' artistic circles, which is by the fact that you meet them is the proof that there are a lot of ways to be there, from the small to the bigger side of an institution or artistic group. And then of course to make relations and to work later on it. Then a constructive critique. Sometimes the programs are too much crowded and fully, and you have to run from one place to another. And sometimes the reports of the works are, especially the works of the university and studies, are there might be reported the results instead of the methodology, because results maybe it's more useful for people working in this field. Then people, the people that I've met here tonight, there is Rana, that like me is not a person that you have to know because we run a theater or festivals, but it's because for me it was a very nice meeting her, but maybe she will introduce herself. And then I've sent another email, but she's not here because I was late, which is Ingvild Lien from Norway, because it took some time for us to understand where we met, like 5 minutes, and then we realized that we met in the Segni New Generation Festival in 2022. So, okay, stop. Thank you for this opportunity, by the way.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sara. I believe it's interesting to listen to you for us also, starting from the fish soup and the taxi driver through the shows that you've seen. If any of you is feeling uncomfortable in English, don't worry, we will try to translate. So feel free to take the language that you are more comfortable in. Who wants to go?
So I introduce myself. I'm Laura, and I'm working for a theater company Kutsiba as distributor. And yeah, the most weird thing, it was the first thing I saw in New Belgrade when I came from the airplane, and it was a bear, like near the bus station. I don't know if you can see it, but it was very weird to me. So I think that this is, I don't know, a good metaphor for the entire shows we saw. Like it was interestingly weird for me seeing shows that was nature centered, and then other things that were completely all about the technologies and innovation and new stuff. So I think that it was great to see very, very different things, and it was like weird to pass from one thing to another, and it was very, I don't know, great. And the most inspiring thing, it was people I met, and the strength and the belief they have, and also very experienced people. It was great for me to see how they still have the strength to look forward and to look to the future and to have ideas, and the willing to improve themselves and to improve this field, this theater for young audiences, for example. And it was great to be with them. I don't know. And why is it important to join gatherings for me? I think it was the first time for me too. I'm very newborn in this field. I'm starting working right now, right away. And it was great meeting new people and creating relationships that I think they were not just superficial. I think that such a gathering can create deeper relationships, and it was great, I think. And also it's important, maybe like Sara also said, seeing things from different points of view, and in have different seeing how different cultures thinks about things. I don't know. And also I think it's important, and I hope that I can join other gatherings to get inspired from people and by shows and by all the beautiful meetings, workshop we did. And apart positive criticism, I think that maybe I would have liked to have more space and more time to stay with people and to have like slower breaks. I don't know, in which having slow coffee and I don't know, but I know that I can understand that if you want to have many interesting things to do, you have to cut the breaks time. So I know it. I can understand that it's worth that we didn't have so many time to relax. I don't know, and yeah, the people I tried to contact, the one who answered me, they couldn't make it, but I met a lot of people, and they were all kind and very interested in what they do and open-minded. And yeah, I try to, I don't know, diversify things, but what's make what they have in common is like this strength and this belief, I think. And it doesn't matter the age, because even if they are young or even if they are old, older, I saw a very, I don't know, I felt like in a family in which all of them want to make the world better. So I don't know, it was great. Yeah. And yeah, that was it. I hope I stayed in 4 minutes, and yeah, I thank you all of you for this opportunity and for being such inspiring for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, because your presentation was very, very interesting, like Sarah one. I will not add anything because I feel that we are all in the same mood, and thank you for sharing. It's adding value to our experience. So let's go for the next one.
Hello, everybody. I think that I'm more confident in Italian.
Don't worry, go ahead.
Of course, you can stop me and I can answer you. I also have some small presentation. I'll try to share. Okay. Della mia esperienza in Serbia. Io sono Rianna Baroni, lavoro per la compagnia teatrale La Luna nel Letto come organizzatrice da pochi mesi. La Luna nel Letto è socia di Assitej dal 2013 e per la prima volta, come le mie compagne, ho partecipato a un gathering. La cosa più strana che ho visto. Ho interpretato strano nel senso di originale. Questo spettacolo, questa produzione dal titolo Why Don't They Care About Hurt parlava di climate change, tentava di sensibilizzare i giovanissimi su questo tema, e il modo in cui gli attori tentavano di sensibilizzare sul tema, secondo me, era veramente originale, cioè attraverso il clownerie, cioè parlare con tono leggero di questo tema, anziché tentare di sensibilizzare i giovanissimi con allarmismo, penso che mi abbia fatto scegliere questo spettacolo fra gli altri, diciamo, perché appunto è molto originale la scelta del tono. La cosa più inspiring, Yes, 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 è uno spettacolo neozelandese, anche questo sul tono comico, un tentativo secondo me fra TEDx e uno stand-up comedian, comunque ispirante perché il tema era molto centrale, cioè la sessualità e l'amore nell'adolescenza, un tema importante che spesso però non sento che venga rappresentato tentando di raccontare la verità degli adolescenti, e invece in questo caso mi è sembrato proprio così. Obiettivo di questa produzione è smascherare il patriarcato in una delle sue forme più subdole, cioè gli abusi sessuali, e appunto anche in questo caso mi ha colpito il tono comico che la produzione è riuscita a mantenere nonostante il tema. Perché è importante andare ai
Quest'ultimo pezzo mi hai perso nella traduzione, però ce la posso fare su smascherare il patriarcato. Adesso arrivo, dammi un secondo.
Dimmi tu quando andare. Perché è importante andare ai gathering per aumentare il valore della relazione umana, professionale e artistica, per conoscere le novità, per stare al passo coi tempi. In questi contesti si scoprono sempre cose nuove, utili al proprio presente, secondo me, per scomodarci, nel senso di metterci nella condizione di adattarci al viaggio, che richiede sempre uno sforzo e un'apertura mentale, e di scoprire nuovi modi di fare, pensare e comunicare l'arte, per creare relazioni utili al confronto su obiettivi comuni, sulle strategie per raggiungerli, per fruire di un teatro diverso da quello conosciuto. E direi che queste per me erano le cose più centrali. Una critica costruttiva: è stato difficile per me, essendo la prima volta a un gathering, capire nella fase precedente, cioè come scrivermi, come prenotare le attività, e non sapevo bene che cosa aspettarmi, ma appunto penso che sia abbastanza normale, contando che era la mia prima esperienza e forse il sito ha avuto alcuni problemi, ecco. Questa è la lista di persone che ho scelto, scusate la voce, ho un pochino di mal di gola, e ho provato a contattare i Frau Trapp, che sono una compagnia che sta a Barcellona, ma non riuscivano a esserci, per cui insomma questa è la presentazione. Grazie mille.
Grazie a te, Arianna. Anche tu ci hai dato
Thanks so
nuovi
much.
elementi.
It is so valuable to listen to your feedback. It is so valuable. Really, thanks for everything.
Well, so do we have someone else? Maria Giulia, you were also there. Yes, you're not young in the sense of new to a gathering, because you were in Vibu also, but I believe that you can also share something, isn't it?
Yes, if you need it, I can do it, but I'm not prepared as the three girls were.
Yes,
but I think that really they have told us everything, because we have seen a lot of strange shows from our point of view, in the sense of the visual points, or also the style of the dialogues, and so for me the weird things were the shows. I think so. The most inspiring things were shows for this exact point, and also a lot of meetings, because they were kind of dialogues, as also the show organizer said before. It was really I don't know how to say. It was not a sort of panel about a theme, but there were a lot of possibility of dialogue, to see many contributions from many speakers, and so it was very interesting to me to see different points of view, and this is a turning point to find a way to collect the diversity, to me.
Thank you, Maria Giulia.
Yes.
And Rana, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us how you feel being there in the gathering also?
Can you listen to me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. I'm very honored to be here with all of you. And thanks to Sarah, I never expect this to be in this gathering. And from my point of view, I will try to, first of all, like other girls, I wasn't prepared, but I will try to answer these questions from a point of view. I was honored to be part of Next Generation program, and also try to participate as much as possible to all Assitej Srbija and like programs and plans, and also like Write Local, Play Global. I was part of Write Local, Play Global, and like try to immerse myself in whatever was offered. So I think the most weird things I encountered was as like the time I arrived in Serbia was around 2 p.m. like late at night, and when I arrived, I heard a very strange noise of a crying woman, and in Spanish. Actually, I didn't. I mean, I rushed into my opinions. I'm from Iran, but I'm currently living in Spain, and I'm actress, writer, and director in children's theater from my country. But I'm studying now here in Valencia, Spain. So I mean, somehow I know how to speak Spanish, and I was thinking that I am far from like this language, but I heard a Spanish crying woman, and I was the only person there to understand her and try to help her, because she was crying loud. There was a problem there, and I felt like, oh my God, I arrived at I'm right here. I arrived and everything is right. It is my space to help somebody and be part of the society. And it was a very, special moment for me, like, that you are there and everything is right. So it was my first encounter. I tried to translate the problem to the officer, and somehow she slept there for the event that she had to participate in the morning. So it was the first things that was amazing, actually. There was another question here. The other things I really liked was like my name in Serbian means wound, and I like it a lot. It brings a lot for me. This is nice, actually. For me, this gathering it means a lot, because it's a long time I wasn't in contact with my colleagues because of many things that I can't mention now, but from my society, the problems that we have in my society, and being new in the new society, I came with a lot of hopes after this gathering. Like I felt a little alone in my area, because I couldn't find colleagues. And then when I jump into this gathering, being connected with a lot of young and older generations, that they are working together, or they are just here to meet each other, to immerse themselves in whatever things that they have been offered. It was a great opportunity. I try to drink this wine as much as possible. Like, everybody inspired me in a way. Even local people, they were very inspiring for me, and I exchanged contact with a woman in a bakery, and we're still talking with each other. They are everything for me was really nice. And I never expect that the quality, the Assitej of Serbia brought as an international artistic gathering. I never expect this, and I'm very privileged to be there. And yeah, I talked a lot.
No, you said very touching things, and we are honored And this is also the deep sense of having a gathering and an international meeting. Thank you to you all. I don't know if Tatiana want to add something.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
I think it's time, but anyway, we have few seconds more.
Yeah, just to express my gratitude on behalf of Assitej Srbija for everything you shared, and to Cristina Cazzola and Chain Reaction and ASSITEJ ITALIA for organizing this event. For us, it was very, very important to hear this feedback, because you invested so much work, but then you only see mistakes from the inside. You really see only what you could not achieve. We had planned this for 4 years and we couldn't achieve many of what we planned because of lack of resources. So everything that you shared is so meaningful. I wrote it down. I will tell to the rest of the board and to the organizing team, and really, really thank you for spending this time to evaluate this with us. As Diana said, this was the first evaluation so far, not even within the boards we managed to evaluate before. So really deep gratitude to all of you.
So thank you. This will be recorded. So Tatiana, don't feel free to ask us or to go on our website to check and to use this space. This is really the open space that wants to set a chain reaction of connection. And the presence of Rana today here and all our guests, it's how it functions and how we believe it has to function. Because we are lucky, we have an important job, taking a lot of energy, but also I believe that those moments are meaningful to us. So get inspired, take the energy and power, and let's go for the next festival.